Just like Fruits Basket, another anime has risen from the ashes and has been given a new 2021 look. That being none other than Shaman King 2021. I don't know if anyone else remembers waking up at 6 or 7 a.m. to catch this show on TV right before school, but I have very fond memories kicking back and eating cereal while Yo kicks some butt. While I am very excited to see Yo and Morty back on the screen, I was a bit curious on how this show would be adopted from my childhood vision. So today let's have a bit of fun and compare the first episode of Shaman King 2021 to its original counterpart. This is an exclusive scene from Shaman King 2021, jumping back to Yo's birth with his evil twin brother. This was missing in the original as Hal was not shown until much later. This inclusion was to bring the overarching plot of Shaman King into play and highlight Yo's importance to the story. I like this little addition for past fans to just scream over and new fans to be curious on what this little sucker can accomplish. Truly showcasing how evil and badass Hal was even as an infant. What a start. It's so interesting how the timeline changes in this scene. In the original, Manta is heading home from cram school, while in the 2021 version he is running late to go to cram school. This makes a lot more sense on why he had to go through the cemetery, because in the original he just had a spooky ghost feeling to go through and bam, that's why he's there. It was kinda odd, so this change is probably for reasoning's sake. One thing always stays the same though, my man Yo still looking as badass as ever. What a guy. Ah, yes, I love how identical the Morty screams are in both versions. Let me hear it just one more time. Ah, yeah, we love that dedication to the source. But as for changes, you can see there is one extra ghost hanging around good old Yo, and spoilers, it's no one other than Amidamaru. Him just being there highlights his importance to the story early, as he is away from the other ghost and he has that obviously I'm a main character vibe to him, you know? This is actually very different from the original because Amidamaru does not appear until way later in the episode in the original. I gotta say, I love the big goofy face that Manta makes here for comedic effect way better than him screaming his heart out in shock to see Yo. Like, look at this guy, he's so goofy and I absolutely love it. A change up from both versions is when Yo professes that he does not know Manta or even believes in ghosts. In the original, Manta approaches Yo with his friends and asks him about his involvements with the ghosties, while in the remake he asks him right in front of the class. I think the remake only did this change to save time, as it wraps it all perfectly up in one nice scene. Because the later stuff is oh so good, but you'll see what I mean in a bit.
自然と一体になるって気持ちいいな。なんだそりゃ。そんなことで諦めるマンタ様ではないのだ。ここで張り込んでいればあいつは必ず現れるはず。そしてレイと一緒のところをこのインスタントカメラで動かぬ証拠を激写してやる。
This is where the story divides paths for a bit. Yo explains his shaman background in the new adaptation, while in the old one, Morty is camping out to catch Yo in the act to show his friends. This is a big difference as it changes Manta's knowledge of Yo and changes their relationship. In one version, they are growing closer and getting to know each other, and in the other, Manta is just a stalker. Good change if you ask me.
ユウさんどうしたボールボーイその墓阿弥陀丸の首塚っすよ阿弥陀丸なんだそりゃ何って600年前あまりに強くあまりに人を切りすぎたため人々に恐れられ処刑された侍もし踏んづけてたたりでもあった日にゃだから
Oh, look at Ryu! I love seeing these old faces in the remake. It's like a breath of fresh air. I don't know if anyone really notices, but the aura around these characters are drastically different. In the original, Ryu is made to feel like this big, bad, scary boss that should be feared, while in the remake, he's just kinda goofy. It's the director's way of showing us character personalities before we even really get to know them. Ryu looks like a goofball even when destroying a tombstone here. Maybe it's just me, but I love how Ryu was portrayed here. Besides the tone shift, the scenes are almost identical though.
なんだよまたその顔だからあの墓に近づくなって言ったのに一体どうしちまったんだある日突然霊とか言い出したら
今度はこれって霊ならいるさ
転校生
事情は墓場の連中に聞いた
Alright, I gotta say it, Manta's so-called friends in the remake are actually terrible. They are so mean to him, they're actually just laughing at him for getting beat up. At least in the original they seem to care about what happened to him. In the remake it's just brutal. It feels as if the director is trying to say that these are not Manta's real friends at all. It's fitting that the only person to believe him is the only other person that can see Ghost in Yo. A very nice scene to really bond the two together. It's almost identical to one another as well. Well, you know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
だいたい君ね竜のところになんか行ってどうしようって言うんだあいつは札付きのワルなんだぞしかも手下が大勢いて君みたいなぼーっとしたやつに何ができるって言うんだああ確かにオイラは弱いぞだったらなおさら大丈夫だってなんとかなる
Exactly the same scene except Yo's inside versus outside. Doesn't change how badass and amazing this scene is. Yo is just too cool. I'll say it a million times if I have to.
もしもしあなんか言ったっていうかこれほどいていただけません
I just love this scene of Manta tied up. Cracked me up so bad watching the original.
さっきからもう戦いたくてうずうずしてるやつがいるんだそうだろ阿弥陀丸侍の霊
この度は拙者の屈辱を晴らす機会を与えていただき感謝いたすでござるヨドル
I'm all for just ghostly appearances, but not gonna lie, the way the remake hyped up Amita Maru's appearance gave me shivers. It just screams an aura of, I'm gonna kick your ass! The remake had the liberty to make his official entrance super cool because they showed him off earlier, while the original was saving the big reveal for the transformation scene coming up. They just wanted to tease you a little more before the big payoff. In my opinion, the remake just did a better job of building the hype. Overall, both scenes of Amita Maru are certified badass.
それじゃあ一丁見せつけてやろうか阿弥陀丸お前の技とオイラの技が合わされば無敵になれるってこと阿弥陀丸人玉モード言っただろあの世とこの世を結ぶもの
それがシャーマンだってな。行くぞ、超一合体。
うわー、人玉が体の中にいっぱいです。
Oh my god, I'm just speechless. Of course the remake looks drastically better, but that comes with the production quality of the time of production. I think the original looks actually really fantastic for 2001. Like, did they even have computers back then? Come on now. Both versions are fantastic. What can I even say about it? The transformation scene wasn't all too flashy, but it was just cool enough to get you really excited. Spirit Ball mode, baby! This whole scene was just Minamaru flexing on poor old Ryu. You just gotta feel bad for him in a way. The only real difference is the level of quality that the 2001 version is able to bring that was not available to the original. Still holds up that same level of badassery, a really cool moment for the books. This next part is actually where the two versions take a big divide. The remake saved a bunch of time to have Minamaru join Yo in the first episode, while in the original there was a whole second episode dedicated to the same topic. Both versions have their pros and cons. At times the original feels a bit too long for this union, but with the extra time they were able to add nice additions that the remake had to cut. But anyways, let's compare the versions that the remake actually did adapt.
というわけで仲間になってよ、阿弥陀丸。
すごいお手
拙者に仲間になれと。
いやー、こないだの剣術はすごかったからさ、お前なら持ち礼として。
断る。この間は偶然拙者とお主の意志が一致しただけのこと。それなくしてお主に協力する筋合いはない。そもそも拙者、ここを離れるつもりは毛頭ないのでな。
As you can see, Yo already knows about Minamaru's reasoning for not wanting to move on or join forces with him. While in the original, he was a giant tsundere and Ghost disappears being a bit moody. This is a big change because we did not get to see how Yo came to understand his pain and his reasoning to not join forces. It's one of those things that isn't a big deal in the grand scheme of things but had to be cut for the sake of time. I do believe, however, this makes the story flow a lot better, so if you ask me, I prefer the remake's way of doing things.
わらわも刀には格別に目がなくての。どうじゃ二人ともここで働いてみては。やったな、阿弥陀丸。こじだった俺たちもついに認められたんだぜ。まさかお前が漁師様に刀を献上することになるとはな。
The beginning of this scene plays out the same as the original, but the remake decided to add a bit more character building between the two childhood friends. I feel as if they had to do this in the remake to make their relationship feel a bit more real and closer. In the original, they had plenty of time to show how close the two were, so they had liberties to cut parts like these.
モスケを殺せ。何を驚いておる。モスケが献上したこの素晴らしき刀。これと同じものがこの世に2本あってはならぬ。せめて友であるお主の手で殺してやるのが情けというものであろう。
なんなんだそりゃ。せっかくここまで来たって。
いくら待ってもモスケは来ないぜ。お前の代わりに俺たちが始末してやったよ。
お前もすぐあの世へ送ってやるぜ。拙者ここを離れるつもりはない。その夜、奴は伝説になった。
This is where that extra time to build the story shows in the original. We learned that the reason Mosuke never shows is because a spy reported their meeting. This was never told to us in the remake. We can only assume what happened. The original also got to go into more detail on how Amidamaru became the legend he is today. It was a very nice touch to fill out the story. These are all problems combining the 2 episodes into one caused for the original, but at the end of the day, these are all luxuries. The story still flows nicely.
確かにこんな刀を撃てるのは奴の他にはいない。
モスケからは一言待たせたなだってさ。
そうか。
そのモスケって人は
合わせる顔がないって先にあの世へ行っちゃったよ。
だからのバカ600年も待たせやがって。今すぐにでも追いかけてぶん殴ってやりたいところだが、どうやら拙者があの世へ行けるのはもう少し先のことになるらしいな。お供させていただきます。ヨダ。
I'm beginning to sound like a broken record at this point, but the only reason for the differences in the 2 versions are because of time constraints. The original had a chance for Amidamaru to accept the sword Mosuke made and think over his decision to join Yo. While on the other hand, the remake changes things up. Amidamaru immediately sees the good in Yo's actions and decides to join him right then and there. I have to say out of the 2, I enjoyed the remake's version just because of the emotional weight that Amidamaru displayed in that version. But I do like both. Both have meaning and both are fantastic at the very end of the day. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the very first comparison to Shaman King 2021 episode 1. I'll try to do these as long as the 2 are comparable every Thursday when it airs. I hope you look forward to more videos like these every single Thursday. And hey, if you really enjoyed, make sure you subscribe down below so you won't miss it every single week, because these are a doozy. So I would really love to see some great feedback on this. It was a lot of fun to make, but also very stressful at the same time. And hey, if you really like this video, which I highly doubt, I didn't think you liked it that much, and want to go the extra mile to support me, then please consider becoming a patron. It's where you can catch my videos early and support me directly, and it would really mean the world to me. And hey, speaking of patrons, shout out to my patrons who are the backbone of this channel. You guys are oh so amazing, and I really would not be able to do this without you. And an extra special shout out to Jamie Lynn. Thank you for your extra support, Jamie. You rock. And with that, that's actually going to be all for me today. I love you guys oh so much, and I'll catch you in the next one, alright? BriThi, your local anime YouTuber, signing off for now. Goodbye, and peace.